Good morning, my unstoppable people. Yes, indeed. Grateful to be back with my brother D, right, on the Unstoppable podcast. It's been a while. How you doing, big bro?
Oh boy, I'm doing good, man. Can't complain.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. So D, we haven't done this in a minute, right? But I really I had a kind of up and down weekend, right? But what I did go watch is him, the movie. And we was talking a little bit earlier about our topic, right? And I think I want to touch on what it takes to be him or her, right? Because I went through some things over the weekend, and it takes a lot to be that that goat, right? The best person you can be and always play at a high level, um, regardless of the environment, the conditions, right?
Yes, sir.
So, well, D, I feel like it's an amazing movie, right? I don't want to get too much in detail because I know eventually you're gonna go see it, and other people may not have seen it yet, right? And I always take a jewel out of any situation I go into. Either I learn afterwards or I can see it before it happens, right? Either way it go, I'm gonna learn something. That's one thing, and that I take out of any encounters, right? Any situation, any encounters, I grab whatever I can grab that can help me out, you know. So what I got out of that is it was really touching for me. I seen it touches on what a person goes through when they're trying to accomplish their dreams and their goals, right? And I also see what it takes to be unstoppable, right? Because that's what you're gonna have to be, you know what I'm saying, to reach your dreams and goals, right? And it's not easy, right? It's not easy. That's why only certain chosen few people make it. It's only the dogs. It's only the ones that's in beast mode. It's only the real grit and grinders, right?
Really,
And
well,
so D, I want you to, because you know what it takes, right? We all kind of know what it takes, but I want to hear some insight from you, right? What you feel like it takes to be him or her, you know?
whew, man. Hey, that's a lot. That's a lot to carry right there to be him or her because you got to be on point. You know, with everything you're doing, and you also got to be you got to be consistent with it. It got to be
Yeah,
something that you can do over and over and over and over and over again. You know, and I think the biggest thing too, though, besides the consistency, is you got to put in that work. That
yeah,
work is what makes it all.
hmm,
Because if you don't continue that work, that body of work,
hmm,
it's easy to become not him. Because somebody
yeah,
somebody waiting somebody waiting to take your place. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
It's it's a constant grind to be him.
hmm,
So man, you gotta walk that. You know that old saying, you gotta walk that walk. And when
yeah,
you ain't walking that walk, and then people see you ain't walking that walk, they gonna like, man, I told you it was a facade, man. I told you, man, he ain't all that and all this. And it's like, to be honest, everybody can have a bad day. You feel me?
yeah,
So, but in order to be him or her, that's what they looking. They looking at you not having no mistakes at all,
yeah,
which is, I think, is humanly impossible because we humans, right? We
hmm,
gonna make some mistakes.
yeah,
But the bad part is you make the mistakes in front of somebody in that limelight,
yeah,
boy, they gonna chop you up like chopped cheese.
yeah,
I knew it.
mm,
It's like, you know, that's what it takes though, man. Hard work, consistency, man, and being able to just do that, walk that walk.
yeah.
I
I'm so
don't
happy.
want to be him. Look,
Yeah,
bro, I don't want to be him.
and a lot of people don't want to be him or her, right? Because the key word you just said, hard work and consistency, right?
Man,
Because most of the time it hurts being him or her, right? When we was walking out the movie theater and we was on our way home, we was clichéing it up. I'm him. Any little thing, turn left at the light. Hold on, watch out. I'm him, right? And we was just going through that because we still kind of vibing off the movie, and it's like a lot of people that understand what it takes to be him or her, right? They don't want to do that work. They don't like. That's why, like I said, that's why it's these some people that's there and they staying there because they did the sacrifices, they put in the work, right?
Yeah.
And a lot of people don't want that criticism because, and I want to touch on that, what you just said. They gonna chop you up soon as you one thing, right?
One thing, man.
Because before they're supporting, they looking for a reason to say he's not him or her, right? We see it in sports, we see it in the entertainment world, we see it in the workforce, we see it in our friends and our family, from the highest low level to the lowest level, right? And that individual that's trying to working towards being him or her, they have to be aware that's coming, right? So another thing I seen in a movie is they put it so vivid in your face, right? Metaphorically, of everything that's gonna come at you, right? After you grind it from day one, from a little kid to become this, they ready to crown you, right? Before they crown you, you going right back through the chopping block, the blender again, right? They want to basically tear you down and rip you apart to see if you still standing, right?
It's crazy.
And but look, and I seen that you have to stay disciplined. I learned so much from that. Like you have to stay disciplined because you got to protect yourself. You know what I'm saying? You got to protect your character, yourself at all times, right? You got to walk around with a force field on. You never know when to take it off, right? Because you at this highest level, all the spotlight is on you, right? When when they want you in the combine, the spotlight is on you. And
Spotlight on.
everybody's judging. They standing there with their stopwatches. They standing there with their clipboards, right? And they ready to check you off the list if you ain't 100%, right? If you ain't out there being that dog or that beast. And that's just like in the world. That's just like in society, right? They people only want to be associated with winners, right? They like to cling themselves to winners. This is just my point of view, right? But they don't know what it takes to be that winner though, right? Unless they're a champion themselves, right? You know
Man.
what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
like me. I don't I'm a 49er fan, right? And all I want them to do is win, right? I don't care. I don't want you to get hurt. I want you to go, 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 go. Bang, bang, Niner gang, right? I want you to win, right? I don't know what it takes for you to keep your Achilles heels intact, your hamstrings intact. I don't know how much you hitting in the gym, right? But the individual, for them to perform at a high level, they got to do all that work, right? But the person that want to be associated with the winner, they not seeing all the work that the person put in, right? So I feel like, yeah, you hold a person accountable, right? You hold them accountable, right? But you also got to understand this person is not perfect. Before you put them on this high pedestal, right? And when they make one mistake, you bring them all the way back down and try to put them underneath the ground, right? You got to
Yeah.
have some empathy, right? You got to have some, I just want to say, you got to have some empathy, right? You got to see what the individual was doing, right? And you can't get too judgy, right? Me personally, I want to be an asset, not a liability, right? So that's what you also got to look at, I feel, in an individual. Are they an asset or a liability, right? Um, but yeah, just being him or her is pretty difficult. Right? And
Oh
I want to
man.
touch on the sacrifices though. because they touched on that in the movie, and I was just talking about it. What am I'm gonna keep it on me? What am I willing to sacrifice? Right? When I came in this thing, right, I was like, I'm willing to sacrifice whatever. Right? I'm willing to do whatever, right? And then this weekend, I just seen, right? My sacrifices was put to the test. I'm gonna just say it like that, right? It was put to the test by saying, okay, you ready to give this up for this over here, right? And then after it got put to the test, I'm like, no, I'm not willing to sacrifice that piece, right? Because this piece is vital to me. So you got to make the judgment call. As an individual, I made a judgment call saying I'm not willing to sacrifice that, right? It's I could still get what I want by not sacrificing this piece, right? And and those are the decisions him or her has to make in order to be him or her. You kind of get what I'm saying, OD? It's like we said we want to do whatever it takes because
Yeah.
in the movie, in the movie, right, D, he in his face. He like, are you willing to do whatever it takes, right? And at the end of the movie, that got tested, right? Just like I was saying. Now, are you willing to sacrifice all this, right? And the him or her has to make that decision. And this was just learning this over this weekend. It was a big learning experience for me, right? And it just doesn't even have to do nothing with the brand. It's just an average. It's just a character building. It was a character building weekend for me, right? And because I got tested. Are you willing to push this brand and what you and your brother doing further, right? As it can possibly go. Well, if you want to do that, then you can't do this, right?
Yeah, but that's part of sacrificing. You know what I'm saying? You got to give up something
Mm-hmm.
in order to get something, because
Yeah.
it's just not gonna come. I will say come easy
Nah.
in
Yeah.
certain things. Like some things will come easy, but the ones that you really got to work for, grind for, hustle for,
Mm-hmm.
them gonna be the ones that test you.
Yeah.
And like you said earlier, or that's something that you really want to go through. And like I said
Yeah.
earlier, it's like, man, I don't know, I don't want to be him. But
Yeah.
it's also perks to becoming him or her.
Yeah.
You know, me personally, it has to be something that you are willing to take on.
Yeah.
You know, you don't have to work for it, because all that stuff you were saying earlier, you know, about they gonna chop you up, this and that. And man, we in a state of cancel culture right now. They will
Mm-hmm.
cancel you in a minute
Yes.
when you do something wrong.
Yeah.
But put that shoe on the other foot to the other
Mm-hmm.
person. Oh no 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 no. Oh
Mm-hmm.
no no no. That it was this. No man, like you said, we gotta have empathy for everything. If it's something that's outrageous, oh
Yeah.
yeah, you know you're gonna get canceled. But
Yep.
if it's something that you made a mistake on, that's not
Mm-hmm.
to the detriment of somebody or something,
Yeah.
hey, it can be. I think certain stuff can be forgiven for. Now, that person might not forget about it,
Yeah.
but we got to extend grace. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
There has to be some sort of grace in there. But right about now, it's like, man, it's nobody has no grace, nobody has no empathy. You said this, that, and the other.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't like the way you walked and talked when you got in here, man. We about to cancel you, brother.
Yeah.
You know, and it's hard though, bro. It's like you going on a walk with a backpack on, and you got all these bricks. You got all these bricks in this backpack.
Yeah.
You're gonna get tired.
You're gonna get tired of carrying
You're
those
gonna get tired,
bricks.
tired carrying those bricks, man. And that's something about when you want to be in that spotlight.
Yeah.
It's gonna be criticism. It's gonna be, it's gonna be some thank yous. It's gonna be some naysayers.
Mm-hmm.
But I it's how you navigate. I'm gonna say it's how you navigate all of that, because
Mm-hmm.
somebody could say something that ain't even true.
Yeah. And indeed, not to cut you off, right? It's just because I put myself out in front of our brand, right? Because nobody knew us. Nobody knew us. And each time I feel like I'm out there in front of the camera, right? People are starting to get to know us, right? And don't get me wrong, the pot shot's been coming, right? I'm walking down the street, like you always aware, right, what's going on, right? Some people are cheering you on and rooting for you. Some people are expecting you to fail, and they'll say it verbally, right? In some roundabout way. And it's not easy being in the spotlight, right? I'm so glad that you touched on that because I was talking to you earlier. Um, because I listen to other podcasts, I feel like that can help, right? Us and what we're doing. So I listen to the Earn Your Leisure podcast. That's one of the podcasts I listen to. They had Magic Johnson on there. And one of the things he touched about as being a owner and a person with a brand and a person at the helm of their brand, right? Um, these are things I'm still working on. These are things I'm still learning, right? He was saying what we both already know. Watch what you post on social media. Watch who you associate yourself with, and watch who you align yourself with. You and your brand, right? And I'm like, yep, that's the money ball, right? And I'm still learning these things as we're building the brands, right? I'm still learning these things because I'm not perfect, right? So it is so vital, right? We can pull guys out of any industry or any trade. Well, he hopped in the car with them. They had the blickies and the switchies. He was a promising athlete. He was a promising entertainer. Right now, we got an entertainer in the spotlight that everybody is humming about, right? I don't know the kid, right? But the kid was on tour. The young girl was found in his Tesla dead, right? I think his name is David. He's John. He's a singer, young African American kid, right?
Mm.
Right now, all eyes are on him, and the clock is ticking because the body in that Tesla, somebody has to account for that, right? So that's what I mean by being in the spotlight, right? Because they connecting the dots right now. They sitting down connecting the dots. They making sure that whoever that they finna put that case on is strong, right? So that's what I mean about association, right? Don't get in the car with the homies, with the blickies and the switchies if you're not ready to stand up under it. Because it's consequences, right? And what I'm saying is I'm not trying to act like I'm exempt or anything of that nature, right? What I'm saying is it's decisions, 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 decisions. And you want to be him or her, you're going to have to make sound, good decisions. Now, as I'm speaking this out loud, I'm absorbing it and I'm listening to my own thoughts and I'm listening to my own self talk because you're going to probably have to talk to yourself sometime when you want to be him or her. And you can see the whole room, right? And you got to be very wise on what you do, right? I learned that over this weekend. It's like, come on, Bo, you got enough people in your corner rooting for you, right? Stay focused, stay determined, stay motivated, stay locked in, right? And it's tragic talking about the young lady that was found in the Tesla. It's tragic. That's just a tragic, tragic thing that everybody associated with that situation is going through or and going to have to go through. Because like I said, somebody's going to have to answer for that, right? He's somewhere sitting working on his innocence, right? It's just the harsh reality of it. I'm gonna spit it out there, right? And him. He's very. I don't know him. I don't listen to his music, but they know him, right? The social world know him. Social media know him. The industry knows him. He's on tour, so he has fans. So him, right?
Mm.
Any young person, any old person, any middle always person, we gotta understand, right? Including myself. We gotta make the right decisions, right? We got to, right? We gotta stay disciplined. We gotta stay dialed in. We gotta stay in line with everything, right? And and I can tell you personally, like I'm gonna tell you a little bit of insight with me over the weekend. I won over here. I was a champion over here this weekend, but I failed over here, right? So even though I'm sitting with this W, right? I'm just being transparent. I'm sitting with this W over here, right? And I'm like, man, but that L I took over here wasn't worth it. You see what I'm saying, D?
Yeah,
I didn't like how that felt, and none of that, right? So I'm like, I want to get better over here where I lost it because this loss can cost me a lot more, right? So is it really a win, right? Is it really a win when you put it on that scale, right? Is it really a win? You feel me?
you know, that right there counterbalanced.
Yeah.
You know, it didn't sit well, and,
It didn't sit
and
well.
it didn't sit well. You
Yeah.
know, but like you said, if you won on this side and you lost on this side, you know, it's that balancing act. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So that's the thing is you got to find that happy median
Yeah.
for you to be him, and then
Mhm.
still be able to hold all those other pieces together. So, it was
Yeah.
just like it was kind of like me and my son had a little conversation because he's a little hooper, and he has the ability to be him.
Mhm.
He might think he's him,
Mhm.
but I'm trying to lace him with game. It's like, it's like if you him, you
Mhm.
not gonna wait on nobody else for you to
Mhm.
perform.
Yeah.
And he talking about, well, man, Dad, I'm waiting on my teammates. I'm waiting on
Mhm.
my teammates to kick in. It's like, bro, you waiting on them teammates to kick in,
Mhm.
you might get kicked out.
Yeah. Yeah.
So who knows? Your teammates might be waiting for you
Yeah.
to step in that role of be him, and
Yeah.
they'll follow. But if you not stepping in that role to be him,
Mhm.
then somebody else gonna be him. Somebody else.
Yeah.
Oh, if he ain't gonna do it, I'm gonna do it. But like I
Yeah.
said earlier, for you to be him, you gotta have that same great game you had the first time.
Mhm.
You gotta have that same great game the second time, the third time, the fourth time. And I'm not gonna lie, man. To be him is exhausting.
Yeah.
But you gotta have a place where you can go and re-energize yourself.
Yeah.
Because if you him or her,
Mhm.
you're in the spotlight 24/7. You gotta find a place where you can go get some rest. You want some
Yeah.
tranquility and all of that. You know what I'm saying? You
Yeah.
you constantly being looked at. It's like
Yeah.
when we were kids and you
Mhm.
got this little microscope, right? And you trying to burn everything with that little microscope. Dude, you trying to hit the ants. You
Yeah. I
you you
remember.
trying you trying to put holes in the paper.
Yeah.
You you know you bad. You trying to light the grass on fire.
Yeah.
So that letting you know that magnifying glass is hot when the pressure is on.
Pressure's on.
You know,
Yeah.
and you under that microscope or
Mhm.
that magnifying glass, you under there 24/7,
Mhm.
and you getting sizzled.
Yeah. Hey, so
And you got to
D.
have tough skin with it, though, Bo. I mean, really, you got to be able to. Yeah, oh, I blocked that. Oh,
Mhm.
you hitting haters over here. Oh, you got to be able to. What's that, Mr. Miyagi? Wax on, wax off.
Yeah.
Hey, it's tough.
Hey,
Can it be
bro.
done? It can be
Yeah.
done. It can be
Mhm.
done. But all of that stuff we said, man, consistency, discipline, you know, all of that. You got to have all of that, and it's something that you got to carry.
Yeah.
If not, boy, look on the wrong day, somebody say something wrong.
Yeah,
Everybody liable to get it
yeah,
if you ain't got it together.
yeah. Hey
So,
D, I, you know why I love doing this with you? Because it's therapy for me, right? So
hey,
that's why I said I'm not perfect, right? But when we talk like this, because we talk like this off camera, on our phone, right, for hours, right? It's
hours.
therapy for me, right? Everything that I've been through to this point is shaping and molding me, right? It's shaping and molding me because I want to get to I'm trying to get somewhere, right? And all I can do is dream about it, visualize it, right? Just like him or her when they was a baby, they've been in training, they've been training, right? And to get to a certain level, right? To reach this destination, right? And this is therapy for me because it's like this is a part of the training. This is a part of the process, the podcast, talking to you, right? When we finish doing this, we're gonna share it with the world and it's gonna help somebody, right? So I'm just saying, I'm a student as well as I'm doing this. I'm learning as well, right? Because like you just said, it takes discipline, it takes hard work. Okay, you're gonna make this mistake. Okay, you gotta get back up, dust yourself off, try it again, be better the next time, right? Because we're not perfect. We're not AI robots, you know, we human beings, right? And sometimes other human beings they could be cruel, they can be vicious, right? So that's why you gotta have your armor on, like you said. You don't want to be, but most people don't want to be in the spotlight. They don't want to get hit with that magnifying glass. They don't want to feel that heat, right? But I feel like I was very weak in that category in the beginning, right? In the beginning, even I was off the porch and I was wilding and right and doing crazy stuff, right? I still was weak in that category. I didn't like to be talked about, right? It's like I kind of threw myself in the fire when it came to building our brand, right? And when I'm gonna go back to when nobody knows us. So every step I take, every time I hop on the camera, I'm getting the world to know who we are, right? And
mm-hmm.
it's gonna be that it's gonna be some flame there because I'm not perfect, right? Even right now, I'm not the best, right? But I know I super sucked in the beginning when I first hopped on camera, right? Because I was scared, I was nervous, I was unsure. I know somebody's laughing, I know somebody's gonna be talking, right? And I hated that when I was a youngster on the block. I hated it when cats would cap on me. Like I said in the other podcast, I would want to fight, right? Or I wouldn't talk to you at all for a whole day. I'll be in my feelings, right? And as I'm going through this process, you get a few people that like you, but you're gonna get 1,000 people like this dude sucks. He's dumb. He doesn't know what he's talking about, right? And I'm walking through it anyway, right? Because I got
Yep.
a destination, right? But like I always talk about, just like when they had that contract, right? So I can go to another movie people already seen. At the end of Highest to Lowest with Denzel Washington and the Spike Lee joint, right? He asked her. He's sitting in the chair like this, like he had her dreams in the palm of his hand, and all she had to do was sign the contract. Do you want this? Are you ready for them to be talking crap about you? Are you ready to be smiling in your face and talking crap behind your back? Are you ready for all the memes? Right? Are you ready? Right? So when I knew everything that I was gonna go through, right? When they told me this is what you're gonna go through, this, what 6, 7 years ago, when we started Unstoppable, right? They said, you're gonna go through all of this. But if you able to withstand all of this is waiting for you at the end, right? I
Yep.
said, sign me up,
Sign
right?
me up.
Sign me up, right? And it don't feel good when you get that like you said, that laser beam pointed at you. You sizzling. You get up and you feel like you didn't gave it your best shot, right? And it's not getting validated. It's not getting viewed how you want to get viewed. They'll take your view or whatever you put out there to inspire, to help, to energize, to motivate, and they twist it around and turn it into poison, right? Or turn it into trash, right? And you still got to get up and try to do it again, right? Like that's a hard grind, right?
Oh man.
That's a hard grind, right? And the mentality has to be there, right? Because like you said, the whole world watching for you to make that vital mistake. I'll take it quick on my boy LeBron James, right? That's look. Do you don't like LeBron?
No, I ain't gonna say I don't like LeBron.
Yeah,
I'm not gonna say, but I ain't gonna lie, boy.
but
Hey, that's a whole nother podcast, bro. That's a whole
you
nother
might D,
podcast.
but I just want to touch on it, right? Like I'm gonna use him as an example because I feel like besides off the court, I feel like the guy is a pretty good humanitarian, right?
Yeah, off the court,
Um,
he doing some amazing stuff.
yeah, right. So because he's him, right? He's at this highest level, right? They've been waiting for a long time. They've been trying. Hey, we're going to associate him with this. LeBron is this. LeBron is that, right? And nobody's seen how squeaky clean he been, right? And saying, you doing your thing, right? You doing what you're supposed to do, right? You're not perfect, but you're doing what you're supposed to do, right?
Yeah.
It's gonna always be those people that's not gonna support you, right? That's sitting in the cuts. They waiting for you to step on the crack. And as soon as you do it, they gonna hit you with that magnifying glass. Right? That's all I wanted to say about that. Right? And you gotta always be ready and be prepared. Right?
Yeah.
And I was the
Always.
most unprepared person going through this thing, right? But like I said earlier, I either can see it before it happens, or after it happens to me, I'm gonna grab a jewel. Either way, it's gonna be a jewel, right? If I make it out of here alive, right, I'm gonna learn something from it. And I think that's what a lot of people that wants to be him or her gotta understand. You gotta take those hits up, right? Hey, what did I learn from that, right? And I took a lot of hits, right?
Yeah.
And it didn't feel good. But you gotta keep on. You gotta stand up and keep on walking like it didn't affect you, like because you gotta go. You got a mission, right? That same thing I signed on the dotted line for and said I'm willing to take all that. That means I was willing to take the hits too. And sometimes the hits don't feel good, you know? And
No.
that's where your mental gotta be stronger than the physical.
Yeah. Yeah. For real, bro. Because as you was talking, I was sitting up here just looking at what some of the requirements are to be him. And it's crazy because here, it's talking about it's an expression of admiration. So
Mm-hmm.
for you to be him, people have to admire, or to be heard, people have to admire,
Mm-hmm.
what you're doing. So basically, in this context, to be referred to is to be, you got to be seen as an aspirational figure,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
you know, and people, and from there, they're admiring. It's either your talent, your skills, your ability, and your achievements and your status. That's a lot. They looking
Yeah.
at a lot, but
Yeah.
nowhere in here it doesn't say your failures,
Yeah.
your mishaps.
Yeah.
So all they doing is looking at what's good,
Mm-hmm.
what's good, and sometimes it's not gonna be all good. You gonna have those
Not gonna be all
moments.
good sometimes.
You
Yeah.
you gonna have it's like, man, you going to your favorite bakery.
Yeah.
That bakery is him or her,
Yeah.
and you loving that lemon supreme pie or whatever it may be, and they might have a bad day one day. That lemon supreme pie, you
Mm-hmm.
you mess around and got lemon peels in it
Yeah.
when it was just a smooth texture.
Yeah.
Anything could go wrong, right? And now man, the place suck. I got lemon peels all in my lemon supreme pie.
I
One
like
one
where you going with this.
one mistake, and it's like you
Yes.
throwing the baby out with the bathwater. You feel me?
Yeah.
But to be him or her, man, you actually got to make sure that your cape is on tight.
Tight.
It got to be on tight, bro, because individuals are looking to bring you down, looking for you
They
not to
wait.
be or him or her,
Yeah.
but
And
I mean, look, Mike was him. Mike
Mike
was
was
him
him.
back in the day. I'm
Yeah.
use Mike for example. Mike was him.
Yeah.
Mike didn't do nothing wrong, and I hate that he lost his father.
Yeah.
And in Mike's situation, that kind of like brung him down, and it was like, man,
Yeah.
y'all over here talking about my gambling debts caused the demise of my dad.
Yeah.
Mike was him,
He was him.
but the one wrong thing.
Yeah.
They trying to drag the man down. Oh, it's
Mm,
because of Mike did this. It's because of
yeah.
Mike did that. While Mike was winning them championships, nobody was saying nothing.
Yeah. And that
That's what
kind
I'm
of
saying.
made him dark,
Yeah,
where he
I,
kept doing his thing and he kept elevating, right?
man. But just
His
imagine, no,
social, his social life changed a lot. Meaning, like he didn't
changed a
let a lot of,
lot.
yeah, he didn't let a lot of people in because he felt betrayed, right?
But
I
imagine
remember
this.
that era.
You
Yeah,
remember that? But imagine this: you a
yeah,
normal, everyday person,
yeah,
and you feeling like, hey,
yeah,
my what I'm doing, I'm being successful. I'm rising from where I was at. I'm doing the things that I need to do,
mhm,
and then all of a sudden, somebody hits you with something, and then
yeah,
you respond back.
yeah, yeah.
All,
Cause
all,
you
all
want,
of that's coming at you, man. It's crazy, man. And then on top of
yeah,
this, the world sees you now.
yeah,
This social media stuff is crazy. It's like
yeah.
you can make them back in the day. You can make a mistake. Nobody knew about your mistake.
Mm-hmm.
You make a mistake now,
Make a mistake now. It's ugly.
bruh.
So, D, that's what I used to tell. So, I talked to our little sister, right? And she's such, man. I gotta tell you, I love my siblings, and she's just such an inspiration to me because she's just such a strong supporter, all right? And she just let me know when I'm wrong, she still's encouraging, and she says, "I know you're wrong now, Sean," right? And I just love her for that though, because she don't pull away when you take a L, right? She's like, shouldn't have did that, but go out there and get them though. Go out there and you can do it, right? And I told her, I said, man, I'm doing a lot of PR work, right? For stuff I may have done, right? Or stuff somebody didn't put on top of our name. You know what I'm saying? I said, every day, sis, it's like I'm doing PR work. A guy come and tear my work down. Here I go, build it right back up again, right? Or I go do something and it knock us back a couple steps, right? Here I go, building it back up again. It never stops, right? And I say I'm so grateful for just the drive, right? I never seen this Shawny BO before, right? I never seen this type of person before. Like when I was younger, when I was on the block, right? I my youth was my stupidity, I would say, right? Now my age is my strength. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
Meaning that I don't look at a loss as a loss, right? I look at it as, man, lost that time. What did I learn from it? Right? I look at it just like that. Go to off into a corner somewhere. Can't do that, Bobo. Can't do that. Gotta give tight, right? Because, like I say, sis is a big supporter, right? But you're not gonna always have 10 to 20 people around you correcting you, right? And so, you're gonna have to sometimes go in there and correct yourself. You have to check yourself sometimes, right? And it might come with you saying, yep, I putting yourself out there in front of the heat, say, I stand up on it. I did make a big mistake, right? And I'm standing here as a man ready to correct my mistake, right? That's called accountability, right? You accounted for nobody else out to hold you accountable, right? After you know that you messed up, go check yourself. You know what I'm saying? And that
Yep.
and that comes with being him or her, right? Because like you said, social media, the world, they're cruel at times, right? And it's like my sister told me some stuff. I said, you know what, you're right. Because I do want to be 100% true and real, right? In any little thing that you do, it might be perceived as, oh, like you said, oh, he did this over here. He fake, he phony. He not who he say he is. But really, though, like, man, I'm him, right? I'm him. And him is just meaning I'm I'm gonna get up every single day and give it my best shot, even if I fail, even if I make a wrong decision today, right? As long as I'm able to get up tomorrow by the grace of God, I'm him. I'm willing to fight and do it again, right? Whatever it takes, right?
Yep.
And like I say, a whole lot of PR work, right? So we can go back to the kid and the girl in the Tesla, right? His career is on his line. His life is on the line. His family is worried about him. He's worried about himself. Where am I going to end up when the smoke clears? Right? And in his mind, I'm innocent. Right? Whatever the situation is, you don't want to go down for this. Right? They tie your name to it. Right? So I'm going to bring it back to, I'm going to put it on me. Your name is tied to this, Bobo. Right? Your name is tied to Unstoppable. Right? And you can't let nobody tear that down, right? You can't tear it down, right? Come on, self, right? Me and Moms had a talk about a dog returning to his vomit over the weekend, right? That sounds disgusting, right?
Yeah.
That sounds
It
that
does.
the whole thing sounds disgusting, right? And because you know why? I just love that word, right? I love it because it's impactful, right? And I done been there before, right? That sounds horrible. Dog returning to his vomit, right? You build them with one hand and tear them down with the other one. I hate it when I do it. I don't want to do it. What do I need to do so I won't do it no more? When you're able to be aware, right? When you're able to be aware, the change is going to come eventually, right? Hopefully, I'm going to keep it on me. Hopefully, I'm able to make those transitions quickly, right? Because, like you're saying, the world is watching, right? People watching, right? And I'm glad we had this podcast and I'm able to be transparent about it because I want to win. I want to be him, right? I do. I want to be him, and not just because I want to sit here and say I'm him, I'm the king. No, I want to be him so I can show other people, right? My associates, people that don't know me, that don't feel like they can be him or her, that want to be him or her. You can be him or her, right? But all that stuff we talked about, that's on that you have to go through to be him or her. You got to tell yourself, you got to ask yourself, are you willing to go through all the heartache and pain, this fussing and the cussing and the discipline and the people pulling away from you because you want to be him or her, or the people that's coming around you because they thinking they finna get something out of you because you him or her? It's a whole bunch of things that go into play when you want that, right? And we get imposters, right? People that's acting like it, right? And then people may think that you acting like it, but you just going through the process, right? Because one thing about people, right? Like you said, you want your lemon super meringue pie the way you had it last time, right? Like I want my Niners. The same way you won last Sunday is the same way I want you to win this Sunday, no matter what. I don't care if you had an argument with your side chick. I don't care if you had an argument with your wife. I don't care if your lemon meringue pie wasn't right and you were in your feelings about it. I need a win, right?
Need a win.
That's how people are when you in the spotlight. They want what they want, and you got to give it to them, right? And it's a lot of pressure on people. That's why some people stay in their comfort zone, right? It was so uncomfortable for me to hop in front of the camera the first time, dude. But because I had the blueprint, right? And they said, this is what you have to do to reach the people, right? You're going to get stoned. But because I value, right? And I truly do, I value it because I believe somebody's going to take what we're doing and they're going to go win. They're going to see it and they're going to try their best to win, right? Because
Yeah.
they're going to look at it. If Shawny BO and DA can do it, right? I think I can do this. I know these guys, right? Or I don't know these guys, but if these guys are brave enough to go out and try to conquer their dreams and their goals, right? To the end, right? I believe I can do it. And that's all a person needs is faith and belief, right? And then there's a whole bunch of work to go behind it. You know what I'm saying? And
A
and it's
whole bunch
not
of work.
easy. It's a whole bunch of work, right? And I want to bring up my nephew Josh, right? And y'all relationship. And after I watching that movie, I also touched on, and I was telling Toya, I said, I see why. And I was telling another one, I said, oh, I was telling our sister too. I was like, I see why D is like that with Josh. You know, I see why you are. It's your baby boy, right?
Yes,
And
sir.
it's a lot of sneaky snakes out there, right? And you're not gonna let him walk into this thing alone, right? And I commend you for it because, right, in, in shaping him to be him, right? It's a lot that it takes out of you as well. So you're a big key. His support system is a big key and a big factor to him becoming who he's going to become, right? So I gotta commend you, right? And your position as a father, right, is not easy because you gotta be him. D, whether you say I don't want to be him or not, you him. You know what I'm saying, though?
Man, hey, it's still tough being him, even in the father role. It's still tough. I don't know what happened to your camera. We got a little technical difficulties, but
Yeah, I seen that. That's why I kind of stopped talking because you frozen over there. What we gotta do is get that right.
man, shoot, I ain't gonna lie. But no, man, to be I just had a conversation. This sort of kind of like off topic of the being him thing, but
Uh,
with my son, and it's like, first of all, they think you got to get him the world because he's trying to be a bowler. His hobby right now is bowling, and I'm not gonna
yeah.
lie, I'm tired. When I get home from work,
Mm-hmm.
brother be tired.
Yeah.
But still, I got to make sure he gets to his workouts. I got to still make sure he gets to his strength and conditioning coaches. I still got to make sure that we do all this other stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And for me, it's like I gotta have my me time. I gotta have my downtime. I'm constantly doing you.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, I need to be revived, restored, and refreshed. The three R's: revived, restored, refreshed. That's what I gotta have. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Yes,
In
sir.
order for me to be able to carry on to do the stuff that I gotta do for him.
Yeah.
So I think he was kind of mad at me last night. I'm like, bro, I'm tired, man. I'm not going bowling.
Mm-hmm.
I heard him go have a little conversation with his mom, and his mom kind of like put him in his place about some of the stuff that he said, which I'm not gonna throw it on the podcast, but it made
Mm-hmm.
me mad though, because it's like, little Joker, all the stuff that I'm running around here doing, making sure you are trying to be him on that
Mm-hmm.
basketball court.
Yeah.
Boy, I was heated. I
Yeah.
was in the uproar. Then
Yeah.
the wife was like, I shouldn't have told you. No, you should have told me because I'm about to ream that joker a new one. But that's what I'm saying though. So
Yeah. You about to put the
I'm
belt to him, D?
man. Nah, I wasn't gonna BTA him. I was gonna give him a few. I was gonna give him a few choice words though. You know,
Yeah,
but
yeah,
and so just taking that and absorbing it without going off because of
yeah,
what you just heard
yeah,
is like, you know what? I'm gonna just sit back and isn't the whole thing. No, is you got to pick and choose your battles. Now that's something I could have went to war for,
yeah.
but I'm gonna just like, you know what? Let me sleep on this because I told my wife it's like us as parents,
Mm-hmm.
we really want to give our kids the best.
Yeah.
We want to give them the things that we didn't get, the things that we didn't have.
Mm-hmm.
So we have to really sit back and think it's like, are we being a detriment to them?
Yeah.
Because when you in the real world,
Yeah.
you not gonna get everything you want. You gonna
Yeah.
get lumped up for some stuff that you just said.
Yeah. And like you say, in the real world, sometimes they don't give you second chances. You know, it's just
Man,
one strike and you out.
man,
Uh,
like I said, in this culture that we in right now, it's like one
Cancel.
thing you
Yeah.
done wrong, they about to try to do you.
Yeah.
And you know, and I don't want to get too much into politics while we on the podcast because then man that might be cancel culture for us. but
Yeah.
but you know, one thing that happened, and we all know what really transpired, and what caused Jimmy Kimmel
Yeah.
to
That's
get his
crazy, right?
show to get his show canceled indefinitely
Yeah.
for something that he said. But the whole thing, though, man, and we got to be aware of this is people could say stuff, but then when that same energy that they just gave comes back, they
Mhm.
don't like it.
Yeah. Empathy. People gotta have empathy for each other, man. And
And
go ahead, bro. Cause
no, and
I was.
I was just saying that's the key of all of this, man. And
Mhm.
I'm really big on giving empathy to people. I'm really big on trying to give you due process.
Yeah.
Before you make that judgment or whatever.
Mhm.
And every at the end of the day, everybody can get it. But then
Yeah.
everybody can also just, well, I'll say can. Everybody should just step back, take that deep breath,
Yeah.
before we go throwing rocks,
Man,
because
bro.
them
That's
same rocks
that's
can come flying back at you.
that's heavy, right? And I really want to segue into this because I meant to do it in the beginning. Right, it's tied into what you were just saying, but I want to segue into this. Right, I was just talking about it earlier. The ladies at Starbucks, right? They take care of me at Starbucks. I don't know if y'all can see that, right? But that's something that I talked about because she wants to come on the podcast and she wants to talk about people and you know and she has a good vibe. So let me tell you the vibe that she gave me, right? She, they always been good people to me, always greeting me, they all and even though I know that's standard, that's a part of their process, right? But this particular individual, I feel the energy, right? These two young ladies, I feel the energy when I walk in. They're there to work. They building brick by brick, basically. They knocking them. They taking orders and they knocking them down. Taking orders and they knocking them down, right? With a smile, right? So what I'm getting to is one day I walk in, like I say, I'm on my day to day, right? I know what I'm finna be faced with. Let me see what I gotta do for the day. How I'm gonna knock it out. And then she say, Sean, I have something for you. This isn't an actual cup she wrote on, but she wrote something. She wrote, "Good morning, my unstoppable people," right? On the cup. And when I seen it, I smiled, right? Because I didn't know that they were watching. They ended up seeing one of the reels, right? and they seen that I was using the Starbucks cup. So anyway, to make a long story short, that uplifted me, right? That gave me a little bit of pep in my step because, right, acknowledgement, right? Somebody sees that you grinding, right? Somebody's vibing off your vibe. That's a money ball. If somebody's vibing off your vibe, that's a money ball. That's what you want to do, right? That's what you want to aim for. So anyway, I want to give them a special shout out, right? I'm looking forward to having her on the pod, going over some things. But yeah, like even with my son, when we talk about father and son, me and my son had a talk over the weekend. I think he came over maybe Friday. I'm not gonna get into details of what his gripe was, but he was upset. And when me and him interacted after I seen that he was upset, I said, "Hey man, um, think about value yourself. Like you're more valuable, right, than your mood right now. Your mood is hawk, credible hawk, right? And if you go off hawking, it's gonna be consequences, right? D, I lost you somehow.
I'm right here still.
Oh, okay. So I told him if you go off like the Incredible Hulk, because I'm the father, I didn't went off like the Hulk, and I had to pay for hawking, right? I said I need you to value yourself because you're more valuable than who you are, right? Than who you're acting like right now, right? I need you to understand that you're valuable to me, your mother, and your siblings, right? I told him, I said, you a man. I need you. You my soldier. You my dog. I need you. I need you to be dialed in right here with me, right? Because it's bigger. It's bigger than that this moment, right? That you're going through right now, right? It's not gonna be the first moment you want to feel like the Hawk. So anyway, I felt good because the next day he texted me and he was like, "Thank you, Dad, for talking to me." Right? Thank you for soothing the Hawk, for calming me down, right? Because I've been there in rage. Nobody was there to calm me down, right? And I had to pay for that stuff, right? It was a consequence behind my actions. So I would never want my son to go off half cocked and angry, right? Think about it, right? Is it really worth it, right? Because you're gonna get upset again. It might be not at this situation, but it's gonna be another. You gotta be able to control your emotions, right? You gotta be able to master your emotions, right? It's something I'm still learning, but I'm aware that, right, in your feelings can get you in trouble. So I'm done with that. But yeah, D, I just had to segue into that because it gets deep when you're trying to be him. You want to
Man,
be him, you're gonna deal with a lot.
you got to deal with a lot. I don't know. On the bottom of your screen, Bo, see if you see a little camera.
I see the camera,
Hit that joint.
so now my screen is off.
All right. Okay. Hit it again.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know what happened.
Yeah, a little technical difficulty towards the end, but man, no, I think that's it, man. In order to be him or her, you gotta be on point.
You
You
gotta
know what
be
I'm
on
saying?
point.
You gotta be on point because
Yeah,
people are really they they say they not watching you,
yeah. They
but
watching.
but in reality they watching. It's just
Yeah.
like it's just like on your Instagram, right? You
Uh-huh.
doing it. You popping. You got everything going. You got 29.5 thousand viewers.
Yeah,
But then they say they not rocking with you. But guess
yeah.
what? They
They watching.
watching. They watching.
Yeah,
And the thing about it is they watching secretively. It's
yeah,
most people that coming after you, they coming after you secretively.
yeah.
You know what I'm
They
saying?
waiting
So
to see. They waiting to see when is he gonna fall, or if he does elevate. And I'm not just talking. I'm not talking about myself. I'm talking about them, anybody though. They waiting to see if you elevate, right?
Yeah.
You know why they stay like that, D? Just in case they want to hop on. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, man. But
And
look,
I understand
at
that.
the end of the day, they gotta know, man. At the end of the day, man, for me to be him, I'm on the top of my game. I'm gonna do whatever I gotta do so I
Yeah,
don't fall.
yeah.
Cause soon as
So,
you fall, they waiting. They waiting like them vultures on roadkill, bro. The little
yeah,
squirrel get hit. That vulture up there watching.
yeah. And
He
like I say,
watching.
I feel like most people stay neutral like that because, right?
No, most people stay neutral like that because they don't want their peers to know that they watching, that they
Yeah,
really liking what you doing, but they gotta be little knuckleheads and be like,
yeah,
nah, nah, nah. But in the background, they watch it. They like, dang, I can't believe that he was used to be on the block or she used to be over here, and now she done did everything that she needed to do to pull
yeah,
herself up, and they
yeah,
doing it.
yeah.
And that people don't
And
understand they can do the same thing. Stop hating.
yeah,
Stop
they
waiting on
can
people's
though.
demises and downfalls, man. Go and do
But,
you.
but D, that's what we tell people, right? All the time with the brand and everything that we do is like, you can do it. You can do it, right?
Yeah,
I
man.
knew nothing about what we doing today. I went out and learned it because I wanted to do it. I
Man.
felt like people have helped me a lot along the way, then pulled me out the fire many times and believed in me, right? Until I started really believing in myself, right? And I keep those same people around, my core, my siblings, keep 'em around me, right?
And that's the thing, Bo, is you said it just a few
Hmm.
minutes ago, man. Believing in yourself
Yeah,
and going out and achieving the things that you put in front of you. And guess what? That's gonna
yeah.
make that's gonna make you him or
Make you
her.
hear it. Yeah,
You achieving the things that you put forward. And
yeah,
everybody watching can
yeah,
see that you doing what you doing, which will make you him or her.
yeah.
That's it.
Yeah, and I think this was me personally, bro. I think this was one of the most fires podcasts we've done thus far. Right? We had a little technical difficulties, but the message is so strong, though. Right? It's so on spot on point. Like every time we do a podcast together, I always get something out of it to make myself better. Right? And this is really why we do it. Right? Like I said, I don't want to be him to be like, yeah, I told y'all, right? Nah, yeah, I told y'all I believe in myself. I can do it. And like DJ said, you can too. Like that's what I want to encourage. When I say unstoppable people, right, that's what I'm doing. You know, people to be encouraged, be inspired like this. Like I want them to feel it. Go, go, go. I want them to feel it, right? Because I'd rather work with you than work against you, right? I'd rather build with you than to tear you down, right? I see how much can come from believing and working and achieving and working together. I see how much can be accomplished, right?
Yeah,
And I'm
working
not gonna say
together, we can accomplish a lot.
a lot. You can do amazing things together, right? You can do amazing things together, right? It's very difficult for a person to be him alone. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It might nine times out of ten it's not gonna happen, right? But sometimes you gotta walk down alone until somebody comes along, right? But you can't walk alone forever, right? You can't. And I'm a firm believer in that, right? And that was another thing I had to wrap my mindset around as well, right? And as you wrap your mindset around it and you start being giving and caring, right? And having empathy for others. Because with your empathy, you would start giving here and there, right? Whether it's a jewel, right? Or paying for the homeless person food that's in front of them that don't have the money to cover their bill, right? Without even expecting nothing in return, just because at that moment you feel like it's the right thing to do, right? And when those things start happening like automatically, because it's gonna pop up in your face, and it's how you gonna respond, right? If you respond the right way, right things will start flowing back to you, right? And
Yeah.
when I sat down with the blueprint to this, right, in a part of the blueprint, that he was like, this is part of the process as well. I'm like, I like that concept. I can get with that. You feel me?
Hey, for
And
real.
when I start shifting that way, right, in certain areas of my life, and when those certain situations popped up, and I started doing it, even when I didn't want to do it, right, I might go somewhere, and I might feel like the service, right, wasn't worthy of a tip, and you still tip anyway. That's big man stuff. You know what I'm saying? Because you're
Man.
not even looking. You're not even like, oh, okay, that's how you are. But let me try to change your world. Let me show you how you can be. You know what I'm saying? Even though your energy was not good, right? Here you go. Boom. And that changes the game. It
Man,
might
that,
not change the game in that person, but the next person with the same energy, you do that. Boom. Right? Because it's only a little bit. You only give them a little bit of yourself. You know what I'm saying? It's going it's gonna hit somebody, right? And it's not for you to stand there and wait for the marriage to happen. You just touching them. Wow, you moving, right?
yeah.
That's big man stuff. That's the stuff that I seen other people do, and I'm like, I want what he's having, right? I like that, right? I want that feeling because you can able to bless them and just walk away and just be like, and keep going on about your day. Now, whatever they get from that is what they get from it. But you know, you went in with the right intent. You know what I'm saying? But D, I mean, I ain't gonna hold you. You got anything else you want to say? I know you
Man.
got other things to do today with the family. I'm gonna try to get my morning on. I might go see some more content by the
Hey,
water. I like the water, as y'all can see the background.
the water.
Yeah,
No, man. Like I said earlier in the thing, man, I'm gonna go take this little joker to the bowling alley, man. That's what
yeah,
that's what he wanted to do. But these kids gotta understand, man. Stuff costs money. I ain't saying that I don't have no money, but
yeah,
I don't want to be spending all my money on your habits. I got my
yeah,
own habits I want to spend my money on. You know what I'm
yeah.
saying? But
That's
no,
the
man.
Gemini. The Gemini.
No, man. But
Gem-
hey, but at the end of the day, man, it's for me
yeah,
and for anybody that
yeah,
that wants to be him, because we talked about all of this other stuff, man. And I say at the end, man, we want to give an encouragement and not think. I don't want people to think that it's always negative or whatever it may be. Even though we were going on both sides, man. But in order to be him, man, I want people to know that don't imitate nobody, man. Don't imitate nobody. Go out and be yourself, man.
mm,
And you're gonna have to change some things. You're gonna not lose your identity, but be able to create better habits. Be able to shift your mindset and to be able to process things, man. And look at both sides before we really decide to jump in and react to certain things, man. Because you got to be a leader.
yeah,
You want to be him. You want to be her. You
mm,
gotta be a leader and be open to what other people have to say. Because it's everybody has their own opinions. Everybody has their own uh, perspective. And to be him, to be her, man,
mm,
you gotta you gotta be able to block all the stuff, but just be open, and don't have a closed mindset, basically, man. And
yeah,
let's all just work to be. We all can be him or hers. It,
yeah,
we we just gotta work at it, man, and be transparent, open. Like I said, be transparent, be open minded, change your mindsets, man, change your behaviors, and basically too, man. If you got a bad work ethic, you have to change that around. In order to be successful, you got to have a work ethic that's going to outdrive anybody that's willing to run up against you.
Yeah. So, D, I want to touch on it just a little bit, and we can close it out though, because you said a lot of good things in there, right? And I'm gonna keep it on myself. And another thing that we gotta do is we gotta listen, right? You gotta listen. You gotta listen to somebody. You know why I say that? It's because as I'm listening to my brother talk, right, and I'm hearing everything he said, I'm learning, right? Still a student. I'm still a student, even at work in construction. I'm still a student, right? And the only way I was able to learn that trade, I had to listen, right? Shawny BO, Mr. Unstoppable, right? The one that no one wants to listen to nobody. I don't like to be smushed and pushed around, right? But in order for me to get to this point right here, not even financially, mentally, right? I had to listen. And I still gotta listen, right? Because we gotta listen. That's another thing. That's another one of the requirements to be in him or her. All right. I'm done with it, D. You wanna close it out with any
Man, nah, I think I did my little thing, man, at
yeah.
the a few minutes ago, man. So at the end of the day, man, I just whoever decides to be him or her, man, I wish you much success, man. You know,
Yeah.
and we got to let y'all know, man, we got a new intro.
Oh yeah.
We got a new intro.
You
So
gonna hit him with it?
we want y'all to let us know how y'all like it when y'all listen to this podcast, because it's gonna be added to the podcast. So tap in on social media, man, and let us know what y'all think about the intro. You know, I'll probably play or Bo will probably play 30 seconds to maybe a minute of it, man. And I think it's fire. I
I
think
think
it's
it's
fire.
fire too. I think it's phenomenal.
Hey. So hey man, I love y'all for supporting us. I love y'all for watching it. Even if you take a glimpse at it, you're gonna be curious to know what else is coming along. But
Yeah.
other than that, man, hey, stay unstoppable, my people.
Yes, sir. And be loyal to your soil. Unstoppable out. Peace.
Peace.